Hello everyone, I am Beatrice Rana and I am here in Munich this week to play Prokofiev Third Piano Concerto. I am always very happy to play this concerto because it's a very exciting one, and I think that in a way it's the quintessence of Prokofiev's writing, and especially of certain aspects of the writing of Prokofiev. I would say that the main thing of this concerto is that in this period of his life, Prokofiev is trying to affirm himself as a modern writer and a modern composer, so refusing the Romantic era. And the interesting thing of this concerto is that you can really see his attempt to be a modern composer, but at the same time he's willing to write beautiful melodies. So there is a very big dualism in this concerto. On one hand, there is this futuristic writing, and on the other part there is beautiful melodies, these cantabile melodies, and especially the third movement that really has one of the most beautiful moments in music history. I think that the main danger of this concerto is the desire of the soloist, but also of the orchestra, to become too virtuosistic. And of course it's a virtuoso concerto because there are many challenging parts, but at the same time it's, as I said, it's a futuristic concerto. It means that futurism is the supremacy of machines over the humanity, and you can see this very important aspect already from the beginning, because the concerto opens with the beautiful melodies from the clarinet, which is this one. Etc. And then after very few bars, the orchestra interrupts this and starts with this. And of course, everyone focuses on this. The main thing, the main ground of the concerto is this incredible rhythm that never stops, which is this one. Of course, the tempo choice at the beginning is not properly in our hands as pianists, because it's the conductor that chooses the tempo, but of course the rehearsals before help with that. But as I said, already in the first movement it's really like a machine. So when this theme comes to the piano, which is in the middle, I think that the main thing is to maintain the tempo, not being too fast, and really trying to be without any interruption. It's always the same, and it's like a machine that goes all the time, forever. So. And etc., etc., and it arrives finally to the first theme that. And the interesting thing is that what you just heard, it's just the opposite of the first theme that we heard from the clarinet, which is this one. So it's exactly the same, but as seen in a mirror. So you have, and then finally. And I think this is very interesting because the two things that seem to be so disconnected at first, actually they are the same motive, and this gives a great cohesion to the writing. And exactly the same thing happens also in the second and in the third movement. But in the second movement we find also another very interesting aspect of Prokofiev's writing, which is the use of dance. Dance is a very important aspect of Prokofiev's writing, and already in the first movement we see that with a grotesque dance, which is this one. It's a very ugly and, in a way, brutal dance. In the second movement, this dance becomes a bit more pleasant and has the form of a gavotte because it's in 4 quarters. So it starts with the orchestra that plays the main theme, which is this one. So I think that in this movement, what's very important is that usually we always refer to second movements as the slow ones. In this case, it's not the slow movement, but it's a dancing movement. And what's very important also is for the piano to keep the same tempo in the first variation, because what we do at the beginning is to just take the same theme and already start to change it. And then it keeps going with the following variations in the orchestra. The last aspect that I would like to explore this time is, as I said at the beginning, Prokofiev was trying to affirm himself as a modern composer, but it's in the third movement that his romantic soul comes. And it's very beautiful because you can really see the effort of him trying to fight with his romantic soul, and you can see that in the middle part of the movement, because after the introduction of the movement, the orchestra starts with this beautiful theme. What you would expect is that this melody would continue, but it's brutally interrupted, and the piano starts to do something that seems to be nonsense because it comes absolutely from nowhere, and that's this one. So it's something very suspended, without gravity, and in a way it's in the mood of the sarcasm, so this kind of detachment from reality. But he's willing to step away from the beautiful melody, doesn't succeed, because right after a few bars he comes back with the piano with the beautiful melody, and this gives one of the most amazing moments in the concerto.